This video is a collab with the beautiful Miss Lauren Maguire, so make sure you go and check out her video and subscribe to her channel. The link is in the description. And if you're from Lauren's channel, nice to meet you. Please subscribe. Hi, I'm Annie, I'm 16 years old, and I've always been a little bit eccentric. Ever since I was little, I've always had a huge smile on my face, trying to stay happy even when I'm feeling sad. I've always loved dressing up, which turned into a love for performing, singing, acting, dancing, you name it, I can't get enough of being on a stage. I love Disney, a lot. It's always been my dream to be a Disney princess, but more than that, I love my family more than anything in the world. I'm lucky that I've always had a good relationship with them. That love is followed by my love for animals, which you'll definitely see a lot in this video. Most of my closest friends live far away from me, and it's been nearly 2 years since I've seen most of them. And the ones who don't, well, I haven't really seen them either over the past year because of COVID, and social media's really helped me stay in touch with them. I'm a little bit crazy, you could say. Maybe too much for my own good sometimes. But I'm shy, I'm not too confident, and I spend way too much time on my phone. I spend way too much time taking photos, then analysing every photo I take and trying to find things that I want to change, comparing myself to every person I see. My body, my face, my life, it's just so draining. I know that I personally spend way too much time scrolling, and I think that can be said for a lot of us. Social media. Who knows how many hours a day are spent on these apps and how many people try to show a version of themselves that isn't them. Since starting to use social media years ago, my mental health has been on a decline. There are so many contradictory statements, and whilst it can be a good thing to stay in contact with people, to keep up with their lives, it can be so harmful. Watching other people's journeys 24/7? When was the last time I actually just took time for myself? Not constantly focusing in on other people's lives or doing it for social media. I was interested to see how different my mental health would be if I just stopped for a week, took a step back and focused in on myself. So that's what I did. I deleted all social media for a week.
I think that's it on here.
I'm allowed to keep Pinterest. I discussed that with Lauren. We are allowed to keep streaming things, so Netflix, YouTube, Disney Plus, things like that, and we're allowed to keep Pinterest. I don't have Snapchat. I deleted Snapchat like a month ago. See it. And then delete. Facebook, delete that, delete TikTok, and Twitter, delete. That's it. They're gone. I'm keeping WhatsApp and messages so that I can still talk to people. All of the social media is gone. The mornings were definitely the hardest part, especially on this first day when I'd forgotten that I was doing this challenge. I went to click on Instagram and it just wasn't there, and I didn't really know why, and then I remembered. The first thing that I do in the morning is I just check Instagram. It's a habit I've been trying to break, but when it's there, it's just so easy to click on. I immediately just see how people's mornings have been, see how people's evenings have been, and it's just not a good habit to get yourself into. You should live in your own life rather than living in other people's. Over the course of this week, I really got into the habit of doing workouts that I actually enjoyed, not workouts that other people were doing, not doing cardio because I felt like I had to do cardio because someone on Instagram was doing it. I did strength training because that's what I enjoy, and I didn't feel obligated to do things that I didn't want to do. I just went with the flow and made up my own workouts, and it was so nice. It was so freeing. No two people will have the same workout routine because everyone's bodies have different needs, and that's okay. What I do won't work for you, and what you do won't work for me, and that is completely fine. This week, I actually got my schoolwork done. I had time to get my schoolwork done because I wasn't spending any free time I had on my phone. I was spending it doing the things that I needed to do. And that's something I'm definitely going to carry forward, is using my time wisely. I was able to make food that I actually wanted to try rather than just eating food that other people were making because I thought that that was what I should be eating.
This is such a banger because I don't have any makeup on. I don't care what anyone says, this is the best flavour of Misfits bar. The best.
This week I could mindfully enjoy my food, and it was such a nice experience.
Who's that? Is that? Who's that?
Friends, they come and go, but family are forever. It's cringe and it's cliche, but it is so true. There are friends who are like family, and they count too. So even if your relationship with your biological family isn't perfect, that doesn't mean that you aren't loved by someone. Family comes in many forms. They're the people or the animals who are there through thick and thin, who know everything good and bad about you. They support you more than anyone, and the time we spend with them is invaluable. I'm incredibly lucky, and I know that because my family and my best friends are the same people. It sounds cringy, but it's true, and I'm not afraid to say it. My family have supported me through everything, and they still love me just the same. And it pains me to know that for a period of my life, I shut them out completely. It's important to switch some of the time that we spend on the screen to time spent with the people who love you the most. No matter what, your family, chosen or biological, are always there. And this week it was so incredible just spending even more time than I already do with them, but away from my phone.
This? So good.
I'm really trying to spend as much time as I can with my family at the moment, because I'm moving away in September, and after I go to college I'm not really going to be able to see them as much for the rest of my life. So I'm really trying to take this time to make as many memories as I can with them whilst I'm stuck at home. Yes, of course, time away from social media, away from your phone, with family and with the people that you love, but also documenting the little experiences, the memories that you make with them on social media. It's like a little diary. You can document the journeys that you go on with them and look back on them in years to come. I can document the things if I choose to. If I don't want to, then I don't have to. But I can look back on the memories with my parents, with my sister, with my cousins in years to come. I can look back and smile.
Oh God, no, don't do that. That's just too quick. I have to send you out.
It really is the little things in life that make it so worthwhile. Things that may have seemed so scary in the moment, but looking back, it makes you you. And you can look back and appreciate the journey that you've been on and appreciate how unique it is. Was another tiring start to the day surrounded by my cats and my dog jumping on me. However, it was another bowl of oats, and that makes my heart happy because I love just getting to create something so unique to me every morning, and I always document my oats, no matter what. I always take a photo. It's like a little oat diary. It fuels me and sets me up for the day in a really good way. Fuels me for my workouts, fuels me for everything that I do, and I just don't trust people who don't like oats. I was a lot more productive this week, and that is clear by the amount of time lapses of me just sat doing work. I go through stages of being really motivated to get really good grades and just doing absolutely nothing. And at the moment, when it's probably really important for me to be motivated, I'm just not feeling it. And this week, away from my phone, I found that I started to get a little bit of my motivation back. And that is something I'm grateful for. So much of the time on social media, we see people's perfect lives, them making perfect batches of granola and going for these amazing walks, being super productive and getting so many things done in a day. But it's important to know that that is just a portion of their life. They have their struggles, they have times when they're not feeling so great, they show the best parts of them. Your social media is your own little place where you can do pretty much whatever you want, and that can be good, and it can definitely be a bad thing too. But a lot more people are finally beginning to show a realistic insight into their lives on social media, and I think it's important that a lot more people do that. And it's important for me to tell you that I did eat this entire batch of granola in one sitting. And that is something that would have terrified me, not only to do, but to say this time 2 years ago. It was at this point in the challenge that I started getting a little bit stressed. And the thing that I do when I'm stressed is I dance. So this class really helped my head get back into the zone, because seeing people and being around people made me feel more in touch with the world around me. Sure, it may still be on a screen at the moment. However, getting to dance with these people and see them in real time is so lovely. They may just be tiny boxes on a screen, but it is so lovely to see these people that I see on social media every day somewhat in real life. And it always puts my anxious mind at rest. For some reason, Wednesdays are my favourite day of the week. Halfway to the weekend, but it's just another day, another dog, and yet another bowl of gorgeous oats. There was something about this day in particular. I really started getting a bit anxious. I started getting stressed. I thought I was missing out on so much in the world. I felt so out of touch with reality, and it was scary. I hadn't felt this way in a long time, and it was a very strange feeling. I was getting increasingly bored. I felt like I had nothing to do, even though I had so much to do, and I was getting overwhelmed. Normally I would rant on my story about how I was feeling, but I couldn't do that, and I had nowhere to go to in order to say how I was feeling. I could still text people, I could still talk to people, I could still realistically tell people how I was feeling. But there's something different about putting it on my story, where I feel like it's my own little diary in comparison to telling people. It's almost scarier directly telling people how you feel than sharing it with the world. It was at this point that things started going a bit downhill.
I'm one minor inconvenience away from losing it.
I don't know what it was, but I was just so incredibly stressed. I had deadlines to reach and felt as though I couldn't talk to anyone about it. And it was so tiring.
I don't think it's about getting rid of social media completely. I think it's just about filtering out what you don't want to see. It's not just all the bad stuff. It's like communicating with people, finding new recipes, finding new workouts.
Yeah, it's very useful.
Social media isn't just diet culture or a way to show off or to brag. It's so much more than that. There is so much education on there which is actually really useful, and there are so many things on there that really do help people. I met some of my closest friends thanks to social media. I wouldn't have joined this amazing dance platform if it wasn't for social media. If it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't be posting this video at all. So much good comes out of social media every day, and it's a case of filtering out the bad things. Are we surprised that Thursday is starting with another bowl of oats and another video or two of my dog? Today really put into perspective how self-critical I am of my appearance and how much pressure I put on myself to look good.
I look so bad.
That's something I say to myself hundreds of times a day, whether it's in my head, out loud, on my private story. It's just something that I have written into my head, that I always look bad, whatever that is.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm just having a bloody stressed out time, and I've been stress eating. I've not even had that much. I just feel like it's a lot. That was my stupid head and what diet culture said. I just think I'm getting fat. Normally if I was feeling like this, I would talk to one of my friends on like Instagram or like rant on my private story. But like I can't. I genuinely don't think anyone is watching. I'm just stressed. I love these leggings, okay? They fit my waist. They have a bum scrunch, you can't really see. And they're not too long. Perfect.
Crazy how quick our moods can change. And it's funny how much emphasis I put on the way that I look and how that feeds into all the stresses that I feel in everyday life. I was a very fat kid. I developed an eating disorder, and ever since then, I've placed even more pressure on the way my body looks and how much I eat. It didn't stem from social media, but it's contributed to it massively. Back to those two words, diet culture. It's toxic, and even though I'm mostly recovered from my eating disorder, it still feeds it every day, making it so much harder to get better. When I had this week off, I was placing less stress on what I was eating, how my body looked, and more what it was capable of. But that doesn't mean that those thoughts weren't still there. They've been written into my head for the past who knows how many years, but it was easier. Those thoughts don't just go away overnight. They won't just go away in a week. It takes so much time to reprogram your mind, to get rid of the lies that diet culture has told you.
I don't know why I can't make my oats look pretty ever. CEO of Ugly Oats. I'm really excited because I love peanut butter and everything in this bowl.
Something that has come out of social media is I am now obsessed with testing the thickness of my oats every day.
I have got valet now. I just wanted to apologise for how I've looked in this video. I don't have any motivation to actually do my makeup. Also, why does my nose look like that? Ballet time. I'm so tired.
Why do we feel like we have to apologise for looking like ourselves, for being ourselves? I remember when I was little, I was so unapologetically myself, but over time, I've started apologising more, saying sorry for everything that I do, saying sorry for how much I eat, how I look, how bad my eye bags are, for not wearing makeup. People say, be unapologetically you, but no one ever teaches us how to do that. We're told to say sorry for everything, to have good manners. And yes, that's important. It's important to be a good person and to have manners, but we shouldn't have to say sorry for being who we are. There is nothing wrong with being different and just being you. It's gonna sound strange, but every morning I look at my cats and I wonder how easy it must be for them. They don't really have anything to worry about. They can just sleep all day. They don't have to worry about social media or the way that they look or the amount that they eat, because they're just them.
Absolutely covered in dog hair.
I don't know about any of you, but my cats have never apologised for waking me up in the middle of the night or scratching my arm because they want food, because that's just the way that they are. It's just the way that they've always been. So why do we apologise for being who we are and being us? It's because every day the media is telling us how we need to be in order to be accepted by society, and that we need to apologise if we don't fit in those boxes.
I didn't think you guys would want to see this again, because there's no shame in me eating the same stuff at varying points throughout the day. If I'm obsessed with sausages and tomatoes and these pita breads, that's okay.
These things that social media tell us, they just make us feel worse, and it's not worth it.
I'm so excited. I've not done my oats like this.
What has this week taught me? Well, I was definitely a lot more stressed, a lot more anxious. I felt out of touch with the world. I felt like I was missing out on things. And maybe I was. Maybe there were things that I missed out on. But people still messaged me. People still spoke to me. They would catch me up on what was going on in their lives. They would check up on me. I could still communicate with people. Social media is definitely a useful thing to have. It can also be very harmful. I think the important thing is choosing what you want to see, choosing what is going to help you on your journey in life, and filtering out the things that aren't. There is no shame in unfollowing people who make you feel bad, who make you feel worse about yourself, because it's your social media, it's your life, and you can choose to follow and see the things that you want to. Something that changed the way that I see things is life doesn't come with a trigger warning. There are things on social media that might trigger you, but there are things in life that are going to trigger you as well. Maybe even more. If we put the energy that we want to receive into the world, then we will get it back. If we choose to follow happier, more positive things on social media, then we're going to live a more happy life. If we choose to follow more negative things on social media, then those things are going to get to us. And that's what this week has taught me. I think it's definitely useful at some point in your life to get rid of social media for a week or a month or however long you need it. There's no shame in not having social media at all if you don't want it. It's not all about getting rid of social media. It's about using social media responsibly and in a way that is going to benefit you and your future. It doesn't matter how many likes you got on your recent photo, or how many comments you got, or comparing what you have to what they have, because you are you. There is only one you, and that is your superpower. You are unique. There is only one you in the world, so don't let social media try and sculpt you into a different person. And that is what I have learnt from this week. Social media can definitely help. It can definitely hinder. But you get to choose which of those things it is for you.